Hey stamping friends, it's Angie here with Too Cool Stamping. I'm here tonight with another live class, this time featuring an online exclusive collection featuring the Simply Zinnias Bundle and the Flowering Zinnias Designer Series paper. It's a beautiful collection of products. It was released, I don't know, a couple months ago, I think. And I've been playing with it, waiting for the new catalog to be released. Of course, we have the new catalog out now. So I'm working on projects for you for that as well. And if you need a catalog, just let me know. You can message me here and I will get back to you about that. Also going on, because of the new catalog, lots of fun things are happening. So I'm just going to do a quick rundown here. There's way too much to cover in a video. So if you want to go to get all the details, you can go to my toocoolstamping.com blog site. That's going to have everything you need to know. Just a quick summary. Of course, you can request a catalog. You can sign up for my paper share. I have a paper share that gives you all of the different papers that are new to the annual catalog, and you get a 6x6 sample of everything at a really great value price. So you can check that out. Sign-ups going on now. And also going on is sign-ups for my In Color Club. I do that, I don't know how many years I've done it, annually for many, many years. So that is going on. And the cool thing this year is you actually have two choices of getting things, getting the new In Colors in your hands. There's my In Color Club, which I highly recommend because it's awesome, but that gives you all of the In Colors, one color by one color over the course of 5 months, and you get all of the stuff. So from gems to markers to cardstock to refill inks, everything. You also get each color month, you'll get supplies to make 4 cards in that color. One design, 4 cards of that design in that spotlight color for that month. So, and I do have a couple of sneak peeks of those, of 2 of the colors. I think Petunia Pop and Summer Splash. You can go to my toocoolstamping.com blog to see that, those 2 sneak peeks from that. So that's my In Color Club. But there's another awesome offer right now that Stampin' Up is having, and that is their starter kit with an In Color bonus. So if you purchase $99 starter kit, normally you get up to $125 that you can select in product of your choice, plus free shipping on that order. But right now, for May only, you get an In Color bundle valued at $82. You get all of the In Color ink pads, you get all of the In Color Stampin' Right markers, you get an assortment pack of cardstock in In Colors, and also the In Color Designer Series paper pack. Fantastic way to get your hands on the In Colors, and those are all free. So 2 cool offers to choose from. I have all the details again over on my toocoolstamping.com website, so go check that out right now. Okay, today, Simply Zinnias, I'm going to turn the camera around. Of course, we're going to have a 5-card class that you can earn like we typically do for a $45 order. I'll give you the host code when we turn it around. You'll need to place your order by May 20th in order to earn this kit. And then just a note, as we flip it around, you're going to see the beautiful Flowering Zinnias paper, which unfortunately is sold out right now. I have to tell you, I've been trying to do this class with you guys for a little while, several weeks. And for the longest time, the sequins were not available, and then they were available. And so I'm like, yay, let's go. So I set it up. So this was going to be my next class, and then the paper sold out. So it's coming in around the 27th of May, which is past the time of earning, but you can still get your bundle. You can get all the rest of the stuff, and my kits include the paper. I have that already purchased, so we're good to go for that. So you can purchase paper later if you like it. Anyway, all right, let's flip it around. So hold on. And I will show you all of the goodies from the Simply Zinnia collection. All right. Okay, I'll get the lights on here and move everything around a little bit. Okay, so again, we have the 5-card class that you can purchase, $45 order at if you just go to toocoolstamping.com. There's a shop now link, and you can go that way to place your order. Pardon me, I'm still having remnants of illness, so hopefully that will be gone soon, but I'm sorry if my voice starts cutting out. So anyway, we have the 5-card kit and $45 order. You're going to need to use the host code on the checkout page. That's 7NQQJGMH. And that will let me know that you want that 5-card kit. You're going to get all the supplies to make the 5 cards that I'm demonstrating tonight. You'll just need to add the stamp set. You'll need to add dies if you would like, and any inks or inks and adhesives, of course. So let's look at this collection. Such a really pretty collection. Again, this is an online exclusive. I don't know if you have noticed. Let's get my light up here. I don't know if you've noticed, but Stampin' Up! Has really been releasing a lot of online exclusive products. And what does that mean? It just means it's not in any catalog. You can go online to see the category of online exclusives, and you'll see a whole array of different stamp sets, papers, suites, embellishments, all kinds of things that you're not going to see in the new catalog. So check that out, and they're releasing new things about every, like 3 times a year, kind of in between the catalog releases. So, well, I think we'll have another one in July. I think it's in July. So, anyway, this is from the previous release a couple of months ago. And the thing about online is it's available while supplies last. Now, if it's a popular item, like this has been very popular since its release, I anticipate it's going to stick around for a little while. While it's popular, they're going to keep kind of, you know, ordering that and having it in stock, but you never know when it might leave for good. So if you like something you see as an online exclusive, you're going to want to get it right away to make sure you get your hands on it. Okay, Simply Zinnia. I love this as a coloring set. So fun to use with Stampin' Blends markers, and we'll be doing that on a couple of our cards. Some really just delightful spring type of sentiments, sending flowers and thinking of you. Words fail to express my gratitude and thank you so much. Just really nice sentiments. You'll also get the Simply Zinnias dies. You have the outline dies, and then also some other elements that you can use to make paper flowers, basically. It's going to cut out all the elements, the stems and the petals of a flower, and some other smaller floral designs as well. So really awesome dies that go along with it. My voice is going to cut in and out. Excuse me. I apologize. Whatever this is hanging on. It's just hanging on. Okay. I might have to get my bottle of water out. All right. So this is the bundle, and you can purchase that. That is available. Next, we have Flowering Zinnia paper, and this is beautiful. Just absolutely gorgeous and very bright colors. I just love it. Here's a very nice small pattern. And then beautiful coordinating soft pattern on the back. This is one of those papers that you can cut up and make cards, just instant card fronts, or it also makes a really nice bottom of a scrapbook page. Again, coordinating background. Here's another one that you can almost cut the paper flowers out of that. Another coordinating pumpkin pie pattern. Here's another one that you could actually trim out some of these flowers. I love that purple. Pardon me. It's going to plague me this time, I think. I apologize. Old olive, and then another just subtle zinnia that matches that same image from the stamp set. So again, Flowering Zinnias paper. Not available right now. It's currently sold out, but it is coming back around May 27th. So mark your calendar. Okay, final part of that collection are these really, excuse me, really pretty sequins. I have to get some water. Hold on. It's been a long time since I've had to stop and get water in the middle of a video, so I apologize. Anyway, I was waiting for these to come back into stock. The adhesive sequins, I think they're called Shiny Sequins. They have the lemon lime twist, some, I think it's lemon lolly. This is some kind of an orangey flavor, and then berry burst. So these are really, really pretty. Okay, we're gonna get started. I'm gonna really try to see if my voice holds out. It was working fine all the rest of the day today, so we'll see. All right, we're gonna start out with purple. So this is Gorgeous Grape, and it's a traditional cardstock or card base, 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. We'll burnish that down. Next, oh, I forgot the other part of the collection, and that is the Zinnias Embossing Folder. I want you to see that. Hopefully you can see that embossing folder design. So pretty. So that's part of the collection too. Zinnias Embossing Folder. So I embossed with, it was a 4 by 5.5, and use my seal adhesive to put that on. Now I'm hoping I remember how to put together all of these cards. It literally has been like 2 months since I designed these, and I've been waiting and waiting for the sequins to come back, and then the designer series paper gone. Okay, next I have a piece of the Flowering Zinnias paper. This is 4 by 1.5. We'll add that across the bottom. And then another little strip, a 1/2-inch strip by 4 of that same designer series paper. Just a little, almost like a ribbon of color across the middle. All right, now let's work on the focal point. I use the Countryside Corners dies to die cut a basic white shape for our background. And I'm gonna move my little piercing mat here. I'm gonna stamp just a little decorative line across the bottom. So there's just this little 3-lined, they almost look like stars. And they just kind of fit together, and I'm gonna stamp that all the way across in Fresh Freesia. All right. And I'm gonna put that right on my card. That's all we need for that layer. Now this was made, my card was made so long ago that I had used my Thoughtful Expressions dies, which if you've seen any of my videos, especially my Thoughtful Expressions video, you'll know how much I love that die set and had hoped that it was never going to be retired, but it was. So I had to redesign this card. But the Countryside Corners works perfectly there. I'm going to ink up this great big image from the stamp set using my Memento Tuxedo black ink, and just stamp on a piece of scrap paper, and then we can color it in. I wanted to save some time. I'm just going to use Stampin' Blends to color in, and I've already have one mostly colored here. So this one is die cut with the Simply Zinnias dies. I have colored in with my Stampin' Blends markers with Lemon Lime Twist for the leaves and stems. I went into the centers of the zinnias and colored those with my Pumpkin Pie Light. Sorry, I think I did Pumpkin Pie Dark. Yes, Pumpkin Pie Dark. And then I colored this one with Highland Heather Dark. Almost looks like Gorgeous Grape. This one is Fresh Freesia Light. And then the last one is going to be Berry Burst Light. And with all of these, just to lay down the color very quickly, I always use my brush tip end as opposed to the fine tip end. This one's great for writing, but I like this one for laying color down. So I'm just going to kind of go around. It takes a little time to color all these in, which is why I just would save some time. You don't need to spend 20 minutes watching me color. It doesn't take that long. So I'm just barely getting that tip right on the edge. And then I'm going to kind of sneak in between that center so I don't cover up the pumpkin pie colors too much, and then fill it in. I'm trying to use the side of my brush tip. If you use the tip, you're gonna fray it very quickly, bend it and fray it. So I kind of use this like a paintbrush. All right, so there is my fully colored piece. We're gonna add that. I just love all those purples. I'm gonna pop this up with some dimensionals. Whoops, there we go. Put one in here too. I just love coloring with the Stampin' Blends, and I love that you can coordinate and make that go with just any color, depending on what color flowers you want to make. So you could use the same type of layout with any color combination. All right, we're gonna finish up with a sentiment. I have another Countryside Corners die cut here in Fresh Freesia. Let's stamp a sentiment from Simply Zinnias in Memento Black again. Hopefully it won't be too crooked. Not too bad. I get so used to photopolymer and being able to see through that when I end up having just a stamp that's rubber, it's kind of hard to go through. Okay, I'm going to overlap this here, so I don't want to put a dimensional behind here, so just something to keep in mind. I'll put a dimensional on this side and a little bit of seal just to catch onto that popped up part. And how about right there? We're going to finish up not with the shiny sequins, although those would look beautiful, but I couldn't resist using these gems. I actually got my colors from this. The Highland Heather, this is more like Highland Heather and Gorgeous Grape and Berry Burst. So it's the same kind of colors going on there. Let me see if I can find my, I must have taken it somewhere. Oh, here it is. All right, so I'm gonna use one of each. So with your class kit, you might have some that are big and some that are smaller, but you'll have one of each color. So you might have two big and a small. I think I'm going to put that one way up here. All right, so there's our first card. I feel like my light is not very good here. All right. I love that. Of course, I love purple, so hope you love it too. All right, next, super simple card. We talked about the Flowering Zinnias, that one sheet that was so easy to make a card from, and that's what we're going to use for this one. So this is a traditional card base, Old Olive, 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. Bonus mini dimensional backing not included with your kit. Okay, this time we have a piece of Berry Burst. This is a background. This is going to be 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. We're going to add this piece of Flowering Zinnias paper and everything. I mean, that's the card front. You don't need anything more than that. 3 by 5. It gives you all the color. That's the focal point, really. So we'll add that to the right-hand side. And then down this left side, I have a piece of Berry Burst, and it's 3/4 inch by 5, and it's again textured with that Zinnias texture embossing folder. So just a little extra dimension there. I don't know why I have this so long. It shouldn't be that long. Let's cut it down a little bit. Should be 5. All right, so there's our background. Isn't that beautiful? Just how it is. I'm going to add some of this ribbon. This is from a ribbon duo pack that actually, if you remember the Zany Zoo suite, it was from that, but it has carried over into the new catalog. So I'm so happy. This is, I think there's a petal pink version that comes with it, and then this lemon lime twist. Just going to tie it into a double knot, trim, and then I'm going to kind of scooch that up here to the top, right along where those two papers come together. And then we'll add that to our background. Okay, perfect. All right, now all you really need is a sentiment and you're done. So let's add, I have a piece here that is 3 1/4 by 1 inch. And let's see. We're gonna use Berry Burst and the big gratitude sentiment. Words fail to express my gratitude. We're gonna add that to another strip here of Old Olive. That's 3 1/2 by 3/4. So I'm just gonna add some seal to the center of it. And then we're gonna have that just peek out from each side. Just maybe 1/8 of an inch here. And then we'll pop that up with some dimensionals. And we'll put that down at the bottom. Just center it right at the bottom. I want to add some shiny sequins to the bottom. And I'm just going to add the lemon lime twist one since we have the lemon lime ribbon. I think it'll look nice. Again, you might get, whoops, I got an extra one in there. You might get 2 big, 1 little, or you might get 2 little and 1 big. It just kind of depends on your packet. Okay, so that is our second card. How easy is that? Super fast, super simple. You could make a whole stack of these with that whole sheet of designer series paper. All right. Next up, we have a fun fold card. And this is one that's a little bit different than one I've done in the past. So it starts with an 11 by 4 1/2, or 4 1/4, I'm sorry, piece of basic white, thick. You'd always want to use the thick for the sturdiness of it. I'm going to score it at the 5 1/2 mark first, and then I took my Stampin' trimmer and I cut from that score line in 3/4 inch from this side to the edge, and also 3/4 inch from this side. So I just like flipped it over and did one, flipped it over, did the other. So I have 2 little flaps here, and these I'm actually going to just use my seal and tack those down. Just kind of a different look. So you want to make sure they're nice and flush on the edge. Then we're going to decorate those 2 sides. I have little 1/2 inch strips that are 5 1/4 long of the Flowering Zinnia designer series paper. And we'll just add that, oops, down each side. All right, so now we just have this as our card opening. I'm going to add another piece of Flowering Zinnia paper. This is 2 1/2 by 7, or I'm sorry, by 7, 2 1/2 by 5 1/4. You just never know what comes out of my mouth. All right, you want to make sure you have it going in the right direction so that your flowers are blooming upward there. All right, next we're going to add a focal point, and this one is in several parts. So I've already die cut a lemon lime twist stem. Then I have a couple of stamped images. The first one, I have a lemon lime twist scrap of paper, and I'm going to stamp the leaves in Old Olive. And we die cut that out. Then I'm going to stamp the zinnia flower in Berry Burst. And then I highly recommend letting it dry. If you start to color right away, you might have a little bit of bleeding happening, which is a look, but it might not be the look that you want. And you'll kind of see, I kind of did mine quickly, the one that I did ahead of time, but you'll see what I mean. Okay, so for this, I left the little stamens, I think they're called. I don't know flowers very well, but I left those white. The rest of it I colored with dark petal pink. And I'll just do half of it so you can see what I'm doing. So I did the whole thing in dark petal pink, and then I took my dark Flirty Flamingo and I did the center and then any of the shaded areas. Just add a little bit of color. Finish coloring that and die cut it with the Simply Zinnias die. So there's our flower that we're going to use. All right, let's put that all together. I'm going to find my liquid glue. So we're going to have this stem, we're going to have our leaves, and our flower. So a little bit of liquid glue. Just barely dab it on there. And add that to your card. Then we're going to add, let's add our flower first, and we're going to pop that up with some dimensionals. Okay. Add that at the top. And then we'll add these. You could either pop those up, or I'm not going to put them on there with that. I am just going to use some seal. Put that right there, and we'll finish up with another sentiment. We're going to duplicate what we just did with the gratitude. I just really liked how that turned out. There's only 3 sentiments to use anyway, so we're going to use that on this one as well. And then we'll pop that up over the bottom. Now notice that when you put this on here, it's going to hang over the edge just a little bit, so don't put your dimensional too far out. If you have any question about it, I just turn it upside down so I have a position pretty much where I want it. Put my dimensionals where I need them. And that way I don't have any question about it hanging over and getting caught. Okay, let's add some, let's see, how about some yellow? No, what did I use? Yeah, it looks like yellow. Sometimes it's hard to tell what sequins I'm using. Looks like yellow to me, so we'll put a couple over here and one right here for a little bit of shimmer, and that's it. It's white on the inside, so plenty of room to write. If you wanted to add a little bit of wink of Stella, that might be fun too. So just a fun little, kind of different, fun fold card. Okay. Next up, We did a lot of stamping and coloring. Now we're going to look at some of those dies. This is die heavy. We're starting out with soft sea foam as our card base, traditional 5.5 by 8.5, scored at the 4 1/4 mark. All right, this one starts with I think it's 4 by 4. Let's just make sure, 4 by 4 inch piece of the Flowering Zinnias as our background. Next, I have another layer here that's 2 3/4 by 5, again textured with that Zinnias Embossing Folder. And I like both of those. This one I'm using the debossed side. You could use either one. So that's just going to go right in the center, down the center, centered side to side. Again, another focal point foundation. All right, now it's all about die cuts. Let me show you the ones we have here. We have 2 stems, lemon lime twist. We have 2 leaves. And then we have 2 sets of flowers. So I did there's actually 2 different dies for the petals that are different shapes so that you can layer those together. And I have to say, it took a little bit of finagling. They don't like layer perfectly together in any way. So you just kind of have to see how the shapes work the best. I kind of like that right there. So I'm going to, you could add a little bit of liquid glue, or I don't know why I put that one on the bottom. That's actually supposed to go on the top, but we're just going to pretend that that's exactly how it goes. This is a little bit wider. The other one is a little bit smaller, so I would put the smaller one on top. But again, do it however you want. Mix and match. That's the other thing. You can mix and match if you want to. You could, when you get your kit, you could, you know, overlap one of the Poppy Parades with the Berry Burst and make two-tone ones that are very similar looking. But I just like the 2 different colors. So again, just kind of move them around, see how they go together. I kind of like that. They're pretty much covering making a whole flower. So again, I'll just add a little bit of seal if I can get it going here. Liquid glue, whatever you like. Put that together. Whoops, stick into my finger. All right, next up, I will use some liquid glue with the next part. These are crushed curry. And these are those little, I think they're called stamens. Somebody correct me. Someone knows, someone remembers biology. Or Grease 2. There's a song in Grease 2 about it. That'll tell you how old I am. It's a cult classic. All right, so I'm going to add one to one side and just kind of hold it there for a few seconds, let it grab. My glue is coming out really fast, so that's not good. Too much on the one side, but that's okay. And then we'll put this over here. And then the final piece, we have a little flower center, and these are die cut with pumpkin pie. And we'll pop those up with some dimensionals. There we go. So there's our flowers. Beautiful. And they come together pretty quickly. All right. Next, let's just assemble both of those on our paper. Oh, one more thing I wanted to add. Just a little pop of color. have to get some of my, I have glue all over my fingers and it's like making everything stick. Do you see what I'm saying? I have a little piece here that's just a 1/2 inch by 2 3/4. And I'm just going to put that down here for a little pop of color just to balance it out a little bit. Then I'm going to add my stems. So let me see how they're gonna go. About like that. I have so much sticky I can't even work with it. All right. A little bit of liquid glue, just a tiniest bead. And there's one. So I just have to tell you, everyone has things they like and hate about crafting. Some people don't like tying bows. Mine is, I do not like liquid glue and how sticky it is. So there's, if you don't know that about me already, there's something that you know about me. It bothers me. It gets all over my fingers and it's not my favorite. So if I could avoid liquid glue, I would do it. Some people, that's all they use, and it really does work very, very well. All right, let's put these flowers on. I'm gonna put, this one looks like it's lost some petals. That's just, see how it just depends on how you position it around. So play with it a little bit. All right, I'm just gonna add a little bit of seal. And that one's gonna go right here. And then this Poppy Parade one, you could again use liquid glue or glue dots. And I'm going to put my sentiment on next, just for some balance. So I've already stamped Sending Flowers and Thinking of You on a, I think it's a 1/2 inch. Yeah, 1/2 inch by 4 inch piece of basic white. I stamped it in Berry Burst. And I'm just going to add some dimensionals across the back. If you wanted to pop these flowers up, you could. However, there's so much dimension on them anyway, just from all of the layers. I didn't really feel like it was necessary to pop them up. All right. This is going to go right across the bottom here. And now we know where we can put these leaves. So I'm just going to add those with seal. One is going to go here. And another one I'm just going to kind of tuck in down here. We'll finish off with some of the orangey sequins. There you go. There's the last, or there's not the last card, but the die cut card. So not a lot of stamping, but beautiful, beautiful blooms. They kind of mimic that background Flowering Zinnia paper. All right, I have one more card. And this one starts with a 4 1/4 by 11 inch sheet of Berry Burst. You're going to score it at the 1 3/4 mark and also the 7 1/4 mark. So we'll fold those and burnish the ends. Now this is kind of a gate fold, so I started with my short flap first, then my long flap. I'm going to put that up right up against the edge so it's nice and flush, and then burnish. That way I know it's going to set correctly as a gate fold. So it'll open like this. Actually, it won't open like that, but you'll see what I mean. All right, next up, you're gonna have a piece of Lemon Lime Twist. This is 3 1/2 by 6 1/4. You're gonna score it at the 1 inch mark and the 5 3/4 inch mark. So one is here and the 5 3/4 inch mark. And you're going to fold it in a Z. So one flap folds one way, one folds the other way. Now this flap, we're going to add, let's see if I have my, I do not. I thought I had my Seal Plus. I would add Seal Plus here, or maybe even tear and tape or liquid glue. So I'm just putting a little bit of adhesive on that flap side, and then I'm going to adhere it right above the score line of that top flap. So there's the score line, and it's just sitting right above there. So this is going to eventually tuck into this, and this will be a pocket, and this will pop up. Do you see how that works? All right, in the pocket, we have, you can put a piece of the white cardstock. This is 3 1/4 by 4 1/2. And you can have, you can stamp on it ahead of time if you want. This is pretty much going to be where you're going to write. So that'll sit in there eventually. But you get the idea of how that'll work. All right. To make this pocket, we're going to use some of that awesome liquid glue. Let me wipe this off a little bit because it's just gushing out. All right. I tried to use tear and tape. It was a little bit too wide. So I would just use a very small bead of liquid glue down one side and then the other, as close to the edge as you possibly can. You don't need any on that side because you want that side open. And then just carefully shut it and then seal it down on each side. And you'll want to hold that down. Make sure it catches. I'm going to take that out for now. All right, then let's decorate. Look at that, it's just totally, can you see that? It's gushing out. Perfect. Goes along with how much I love the mess. All right, so now I have a piece of Flowering Zinnia. This is 4 by 3 1/2. I'm going to put that on the bottom to decorate. On that top flap, I'm going to have another coordinating piece. This one is 4 by 1 1/2. Yes. Add that across the top. All right, then I'm going to add a little foundation for the focal point. And this is going to, you can either attach this with some sticky tape. I'm actually going to add it with some dimensionals just to give it a little bit of pop. So I'm gonna line it up how I want it. I flipped it over, it's the same on both sides when it's just a piece of cardstock like that. So that was kind of silly. But I'm trying to just put the dimensionals, again, not down here, only on that top flap. All right, we're going to add that to the top, and then we'll work on that focal point. So I have another piece here of basic white. This is 2 1/2 by 3 3/4. I'm going to stamp that trio of flowers. Over that top of that. Again, anytime you do coloring with blends, I highly recommend let it dry for 10 or 15 minutes so that it's not going to bleed. All right, again, I'm not going to color all of these in, but I'm going to just give you a taste so I can, this is, actually that's lemon lime, but I didn't use that. I used, here we go. I got the wrong stack of blends. I used Old Olive for my leaves throughout. If you wanted to do, you know, light and dark and do some shading, you could do that as well. I used some light lemon lolly for little stamens. Then I used light pumpkin pie for the flowers. We might be having bad weather, so bear with me. I can hear our emergency siren thing going off, and they said there could be some tornadoes around this area, and there has been earlier today. This is dark pumpkin pie, and then a little bit of shading. I did that with all of the flowers. Let me just show you the finished product. So this is the finished with the pumpkin pie flowers, Old Olive, and then some Berry Burst Shiny Sequins. Open that up, and you can stamp a sentiment across the top in Old Olive. And I showed you how you could put the message, the white message in there. That will stick that down in there like a little pocket. But this is actually an idea that I got from one of my team members. Her name's Carla. And Carla Neald, and she sent me the swap card. I'll show it to you. I used her Zinnia packet, but this was her swap card that she created. This little border I love, but that is retired now. But I love, she used some of the dies that were the smaller flowers. She cut these out of designer series paper, as well as the leaves, put a sprinkling of the shiny dots, and then had this opening. And on the inside, she had these zinnia seeds, and I thought, how perfect is that? So I stole her zinnia seeds to show with mine, but and in your card packet, you do not get the zinnia seeds, sorry. That's not something I'm going to be sending with your kit, but it's just an idea that if you want to get something like this, you could add to it. This would be a fun little way that you could send that in a card that's mailable. So that's our last card. All right, and before I show you all the cards again, I wanted to show you one last little project that I made. This was very similar to our die cut card. This was a little treat box that I created for my team. Every month we have a team meeting, and we do it online, and then we also have a make and take kit that has a little treat or a little gift for me in it, and this is what it was. So we used the scalloped gift card holder box, which is a fantastic box that you can just decorate. I used the Flowering Zinnias paper. I used that same look with the dies, and the thank you so much worked perfectly. That same ribbon from the Duo pack, some lemon lime adhesive, shiny sequins. And then you can open this up. You can actually, it has a beautiful scalloped edge, but and I love that. And you could actually, you know, put ribbon around it and make that show. But if you tuck it in, it stays closed, so that's awesome. But it is a gift card holder. I put Trident in it because it matched, and I like to try to match my projects. But it does have a little pop-up gift card holder with little slits that you can put your gift card in. So you could put a nice gift card in there. It makes a nice little box, and decorate it the way you want to. Or Trident gum fits in there too. So that's what I had for a little treat for my team last month. So wanted to show you that. All right. So let's take a look at all the cards again and what you're going to be receiving in your kit. So you'll have all the supplies to make all of these cards. All 5. Again, you supply the stamps, the dies, and the inks and adhesives. Anything that's pre-die cut, like all of these things, already in there, ready to go. You just need to adhere them down. Anything that's stamped first and then die cut, like this one, you'll just get the scrap paper, you stamp on it, color it, and you can die cut it with your own dies. Same with this one. So anything else that's pre-done, that doesn't have stamping first, that will be done for you. Any embossed layers will also be done for you, and you'll get all of the embellishments as well. So you'll be good to go if you have the stamp set. The dies help. You don't need the dies, but the dies would help. And then obviously some way to color with Stampin' Blends markers, Stampin' Write markers. You could even use watercolor pencils, that type of thing. So again, you get all these pieces, and you'll have until May 20th to place a $45 order. with me, you can go to toocoolstamping.com, click on the Shop Now link. That'll take you to my online store. And then on the checkout page, you'll want to apply the host code 7NQQJGMH, and that will give you this card class. I just remembered that this is not the one you're getting, because this one I had pink, or petal pink, and then I actually like the one with white a little bit better. So that's the one that you're getting. So just wanted to clarify that. All right. Hopefully you guys will have fun with this set. I had so much fun putting it together. It's a beautiful class for spring and summer, and I just think you're really going to enjoy it. Let me know what you think in the comments section, and thank you so much for joining me on this live video with the Simply Zinnias set. Again, if you have any questions or need to know anything about the current specials going on with my paper share, the In Color Club, the special starter kit with the In Color free bundle, any of that information you can find on toocoolstamping.com. All right, everyone, until next time, I'll see you later. This is Angie with Too Cool Stamping. Bye-bye.